Pairuk Rang Virachachai is the man in charge. And you're going to be hearing a lot of that from Wong. Very, very vocal player. 1-1. Now, the right-hander Isaac Kwek, throughout singles and doubles play earlier today, his service has been almost impenetrable. Straight away, umpire Pairuk seeing something just about the presentation of the ball. It has to be absolutely flat in the palm of the hand. A vertical toss. And, of course, it has to go a sufficient height above the plane of the table too. So plenty of technical things for the umpire to look out for there. But to the point about the quality of that service, it really has caused all of his opponents problems. That was a great get from Chung, but his teammate unable to replicate that. And as a result, it's the Singaporeans off to a bright start. We saw that earlier on today. They really do zip into matches, hit the ground running, well prepped, well warmed up. Into the crossover. Isaac does so well. And then look at that off the ground from Cohen. What a point. Now, was that down or up? Hit the side of the table. Remember, if it's heading in a downward direction, it would be out. If it catches enough to go up, that means it's a point for the Malaysians. And that was the case there. So they level things up at 3-3. Every bit as intense, every bit as competitive as we thought this might be. In terms of their pathways to this final, obviously both pairs seeing off some quality opposition. Semi-final win over the Thais, Pak Poon and Tirabat, was really impressive for the Malaysian pair. And now it's Javin Chong's turn to go to ground. We're seeing everything early on in this one. Singaporeans getting past Duc Tuan, the highly experienced Vietnamese, and Duan Ba Tuan A, his partner. That was an impressive performance in their semi-final. And they're looking smooth and they're looking grooved and they're in sync and they're 3 points to the good now, the Singapore pair in this first game. Best of 5, remember. Back with the Isaac Kwek serve. Look at the way we see Cohen brought into play straight away. And he is such a pass master of getting that elbow high and getting that backhand flick in. But this time the Malaysians had the answer. Unable to really loop there as he wanted. Isaac, another service though. And it works effectively. Tremendous variety about his service game, and it's a 4-point advantage for the Singaporeans. Pressure early on here for the Malaysian pair. Point goes the way of the Singaporeans. They just had a little glance across there. And now there's real pressure on the Wong service. Lovely flick in at the table there from Jevin Chung. He never gives anything away. Assisted here this week, by the way, by Cao Min-chi, who's taken charge a couple of times. 9-5. Koen Pang to serve. Oh, and again, he got caught there in that transition, in that crossover. Excellent play by the Malaysians. Let's have a little look at where they put that ball first, there, and then into that pocket there. Very uncomfortable for the tall left-hander. That's an excellent piece of play. That backhand of his, whipping across the table. Look at the length he gets on this as well. And that's good enough now to set this up for the first game. 4 game points for the Singapore pair. And that is very expertly done indeed. They will trot away from the table. Job done, at least for the time being. First game in the bag. And ever since they stepped out into a 3-1 lead, they always held the upper hand in that game. That one arcing quite well wide by the right-hander, Javin Chung. Now time for just some expert guidance from their coach, but it's a good start by the Singaporean pair. On course, 11-6 in the first game. So they're about to head back to the table for the second game as we take a look at some of the key moments here. This was one of the best points from the Malaysians, because whenever you can separate your opponents and leave huge gaps between them, that means that you're getting something right. But it didn't happen often enough for them, and they'll need a tactical rethink at the start of this second game. Isaac Kwek to serve Singapore in the driving seat. But that was tidy play, very quick on receive. One all, and the Malaysians will hope that they can just keep in touch at the start of this one, not let the Singaporeans make their customary bright start. Really clever placement, that. Just got a little bit tucked up there, nowhere to go, jumping to try and make the shot there, Wong. Oh, he's off on a lap of honour after that one. He loved that. Have a little look at the quality on the forehand from Wong. Pace and power. Then away he goes. And that gave him the confidence then to reach into the table and produce an exquisite backhand flick. So a bright couple of points for the Malaysian pair. Anything you can do, says Isaac Kwek. I'm going to give back at you, and look at that. That meant something. Clenched fist, celebration. He just bent the knees, and look at the quality there in terms of that shot. That tells you a lot about the core strength, the lower body power that he possesses, driving through that ball. This is what the Singaporean pair do so well. Just tidy when they need to be, eliminating the errors. And there's another example of the excellent control that Isaac Kwek has over that forehand. Malaysians unable to lift. He puts so much on top of it sometimes. And again, when it comes to a blazing duel there, it's the length that they're able to get. In that case, Koen Pang. Just look at where he places this ball here. Coming up there, that shot, almost in the white paint. Very, very hard for Wong to control. And this is quite the run of points. Stretching out now the Singaporeans to a 4-point advantage. That will be a cause for concern for the Malaysian coaching staff, as they've already dropped that first game, remember. You see that occasionally with Cohen, looking to put so much on over the top of the ball on his service return. Great adjustment midpoint from Wong, but it was in vain. And they'll go now to the towels for the second towel break of this game, with the Singaporeans once again in a familiar position. They're well on top in this one. It's a 4-point lead, and they're just 3 away now from a 2-game lead. Just a little communication. They're not the most expressive, these two. They have such a telepathic, really, understanding of what they're doing. They've played together for so long now. Eight-5. Koen Pang serving. 1 game up already. Just wide from Isaac. And that closes this game up to a 2-point deficit, which is good news for the Malaysians, who'll be serving now, looking to level things up. Wong Chi-shen it is. But that was really expensive. First the left-hander drilling the ball wide, and then Isaac Kwek taking his turn here into the forehand of Chung. Great block. How about that? That's the best return you'll see all night long from Koen Pang there. And that's the sort of shot that leads, of course, here to 4 game points for a 2-love lead. They can knock the stuffing out of the opposition, because Wong gave that absolutely everything. And that's that. And that is a really professional job done by this Singaporean pair. Struggled at times during that game, but when it mattered most, as the best players do, they just turned up the heat. Some excellent play, in particular the one that will live in the memory with that return in the penultimate point from Cohen. And that's the way it was finished, and that was the way they had. So umpire Pyro calls the players back from the game break. And as he does so, all the Singaporean fans will be hoping that his as Isaac Kwek looks to do his thing. It's such a slick move, and it's so well practiced. Good service, just half long, it's just enough to offer the opportunity for Koen Pang to step in, and with that practiced flick of that left wrist, they lead. This time he runs around onto the forehand. Quick thinking, quick feet, and then it's a 3-1 lead. Timeout called. Understandable, really, given the state of the match. 4-1 down in a game they cannot afford to lose. So this needed fixing. The timeout, really the throw of the dice that the Malaysians needed now to try and find some way back against their Singaporean opponents who, whenever there's been a bit of pressure on, have just found an extra gear, just been able to step it up a bit. And for all the quality that this Malaysian pair, particularly Wong Chi-sen, possess, they haven't been able to consistently put together a run of points. That's what you want coming back off a timeout. First point won. Looking to carry some of the momentum on now. So a quick towel down. 4-2. The Singaporeans lead. Koen to serve. Really uncomfortable position for Pang then, but he somehow manufactured a forehand for the frustration of Chong. Have a little look at the body shape he gets into there. Look at that. Back. Away, but still delivered an excellent forehand. Oh, that's so quick at the net. 3-5. Couple of great gets by the Singaporeans. But not this time. And the Malaysians close within 1 point. Well, they were defending heroically, but in the end, that was just one too far, going to the forehand side with the backhand there. And that's what's so good about this pair. They shake off the loss of a point, invariably come back and win the next. And that's because they are battle-hardened. They've played on the very biggest stages around the world. They know how to manage a match. Then that goes long, and now the Singaporeans can almost feel that gold medal. They're getting closer and closer. 8-4 they lead. 2 games to the good already. And there's the support for them from the fans. Looking to turn this into a night of doubles celebration here in Nonthaburi. Look at the net then, and the Malaysians will take any advantage they can get right now. Any assistance, any benefit, because they are fighting for their lives here in this final. And they're fighting effectively because they've closed the gap to 2 points now. But this is the Singapore pair's opportunity. Ball in the hand of Koen Pang. 8-6 already. He can take them to the brink here of victory. Koen employing the high toss there and then well-constructed point. Sees them edge closer. 9-6, still with 1 service to come. Here's the put away. It took 3 attempts to put them down, and now they do, and now they stand on the brink of defending their title. 4 championship points for the Singaporeans. And that's it. Koen Pang swarming the table. And that is the win, and that's the Singapore flag, and those are the fans who have cheered on their doubles teams this evening and cheered on